Alright, time for one of my beloved trailer reaction videos, this time for Resident Evil 3. Now, I've not seen all of this yet. I'm very excited, because Resident Evil 2, I bloody loved that. The recent remake, that's one of the best games I played this year. And I loved Resident Evil 3, the Nemesis back in the day. So, yeah. Bring me this, Capcom. You've been on a roll lately with your games, have you, Capcom? Look, it's got flesh, it's got eyes, it's got screaming, it's got zombies. Everything's here. Numbers ticking wildly. That's spooky. Alright, let's see some video games. We got some run-in sounds and a corridor and a door. A door in the corridor, and that was a shadowy figure, wasn't it? Probably the Nemesis from the Nemesis. Can't wait. I've seen the leaked pictures of like Jill and Chris and the Nemesis from Nemesis. It looks well good. So I guess this is the gameplay. We got first person running, which is something of a departure from the third person stuff in Resident Evil 2. I have to double check and see if this is, you know, what the game looks like. Not that I mind. The first person stuff in Resident Evil 7 was just dandy. And I guess Capcom just keeps playing around with different formulas for Resident Evil. But not in like the Square Enix way, where they just throw everything out and try and reinvent the wheel every single time. Even when it goes first person, Capcom have found a way to make it still feel like a Resident Evil game. So they're experimenting in good ways and making really good games. That's one of the reasons why Capcom's been on such a bloody roll lately. This looks exciting. Oh, look at the hair on that.
Gets worse every night.
Oh, this. I'm happy with this. Happy with this so far. Oh wait, there's some third-person stuff. Okay. Again, I don't mind either way. But I guess I say I don't mind either way. I would prefer to see them continue with the Resident Evil 2 stuff anyway, because that was such a great game, and I think there's mileage in that. But at the same time, if they do Resident Evil 8 and it's the first-person stuff again, I'd be fine with that too. Oh no, the Nemesis from April 3rd, 2020. That ain't that far away either. So that can be one of next year's best games, because we've got Resident Evil 2 over here being this year's best game, and there's Resident Evil Resistance for you as well. It's got everything. Pre-order for the original costumes! What? What? Okay, so I double checked, and yeah, Capcom said it's retaining the third-person combat, which, cool. I guess they just maybe they were taking a page out of Hideo Kojima's book. Do you remember when there was that trailer for Metal Gear Solid 4? And it was done in a first-person perspective, and then it said, this is no FPS, this is MGS, because Kojima just made the trailer lie so that he could pretend he was subverting our expectations by doing the thing he usually does. In any case, Resident Evil 3 looks really good, doesn't it? We didn't see much, like, solid gameplay, but at the same time, after Resident Evil 2, I've got full trust that this will be quality work. Capcom, out of all of the big mainstream AAA publishers out there, has gone some way to giving me a little bit of faith in their work. Now, of course, they are still a major publisher. They could dash that faith to the rocks at any given time. But certainly this year, last year as well, just in recent times, their releases have been top-notch. Kind of bucking the trend of a lot of live servicey crap out there. And then they remastered Onimusha earlier this year, which basically they've bought themselves one fuck up from me with Onimusha alone. They get one fuck up. Maybe it's the microtransactions in Devil May Cry 5. Maybe Onimusha paid for that. But if Resident Evil 3, the Nemesis one, is good, then, you know, I get thumbs up for that. I love the Nemesis one from Nemesis. really scary enemy just coming after you. They're really the only games that can proper spook me out. In fact, I had a impressions video for Alien Isolation on Switch. It's really good, by the way. Maybe I'll post that tomorrow instead. But that was another game that had like a singular imposing enemy just stalking you. And Resident Evil 3 was one of the first games I played where I experienced that. I didn't really discover the clock tower stuff till later. So Resident Evil 3 was certainly the first game I remember. Outside of, you remember the blue werewolf monsters in Commander Keen? Well, one of them were at the end of one level in one thing, and me and my brother used to have fun going up to it to make it chase us and fall off the ledge it was on. So then it would just bounce around in the level and stalk us, and we would try and play cat and mouse with it. And we invented our own survival horror out of Commander Keen. But, I mean, that's apropos of nothing. The point is I like a thing in the game chasing you. I've always loved that. And Resident Evil 3 Nemesis gave you that sense where you just felt as you played it, it could come after you at any time. And then they made that a lot more naturally dynamic in Resident Evil 2's remake with the Mr. X stomping after you. And it only makes sense that they can continue that with the Nemesis one from Nemesis. Because, I mean, that was really just one of the best ones. One of the most memorable. There's a reason why people like fondly recall the Nemesis and sort of get chills when they see just a reference to it. And here it goes, S.T.A.R.S, because it was truly intimidating. So I'm well up for this. Looks really good. Out not too far from now. Yeah, give me it now. I want it now. I said it's not too far, but I want it now. Well, no, I'll finish Alien Isolation again. That's good. It's a good port.